What is a floppy disk? Well, it's just a form of storage like a USB thumb drive is today. You would have games and software and everything would come on floppy disks because the computers back then didn't have internal hard drives, so everything had to be loaded externally. Alright, so I'm going to show off my floppy disk collection. It's honestly kind of a lot. Alright, so here we have it, the pile of floppy disks. Mainly 5 1/4 inch. These are the only 3 1/2 inch ones I have, but yeah, it's a lot. I almost missed a box. So I'm going to start with the simplest thing here, which is these new old stock disks. All of them are pretty much blank. They still need to be formatted, but they're old boxes of disks. But yeah, basically there are two varieties of floppy disks. You got these 5 1/4 inch disks. These are an older form of storage than your newer 3 1/2 inch disks. Unfortunately, I do not have a drive that'll write to these, so they're kind of paperweights right now. So in here is, well, it's still sealed, but it's stickers for labeling the disk and write protect notches. And a write protect notch, basically, you could put it on your disk to stop anybody from writing or clearing data on it. And these newer 3 1/2 inch disks, for a write protect notch, they actually have this plastic switch. Like this, for example, is a disk with a write protect cover, instead of one like this, where it has an exposed notch. Here's the first stack. So in this Tandy box is Commodore Software. It looks like just miscellaneous programs and utility stuff. In here we have Maverick, which is another utility thing. Now, since this disc is just a copy of this disc and it didn't work, I thought, you know what, might as well sacrifice it to science, you know? So if you're ever wondering what's inside a floppy disk, here you go. The data storage is actually similar to a cassette in the fact that it stores it magnetically on the material. Can't even remember what's inside of here. Okay, so we got Print Shop. This is just a program that makes printing banners and stuff easier. So if you wanted to print like a happy birthday design or something else, Print Shop would be the best software to do so. I think it's still around today, but I'm not sure actually. Then in here we got Discs O'Plenty. I take it it's more just miscellaneous software. And then onto here, this little Gemini case. This is where I keep all my official Commodore branded discs. In this box, this is basically all of the discs I use most commonly. These two discs here are games that I'm programming. This one's a racing game, and this one's a Halo-esque game. GEOS, 3 GEOS discs, my GEOS files. This disc comes in handy. This is a 1541 tester. This is a disc of the month. I have a bunch of them in another box, but this disc in particular has a program where you could edit sprites. I use that a lot when I'm programming my games. Here, I'm pretty sure this is a voice synthesizer called Sam Speak. This is a word processor, and here actually is a little add-on that goes with it. You plug it into the joystick port. This is for copy protection, so that you can't illegally pirate the game, because you'd have to have this little module to get it to work. Aha! Here it is. Jane, an integrated word processor, spreadsheet, and filing system. How neat. Saving the biggest ones for last, we got that one, this one, this one. So in here, we got the rest of those Disc of the Month Club. Goes all the way up to 1994. So this is where you would renew your subscription to receive more Discs of the Month. Then here we have Lodestar, which is, I think, the most popular subscription service on the Commodore. And it continued for so long that later Lodestar issues were issued on these 3 1/2 inch discs. Here's a bunch of blank discs. Then here is probably one of the boxes that I use the most. Here is where I keep all my games. Here's a game by Sega, Thunderblade. Very interesting. Here's another Sega game, The Oregon Trail, which unfortunately doesn't work anymore. But that's basically all that's in this one. So next I'm going to go over some cartridges. We got modems, utilities, and games. These are your main three utility cartridges. And these are actually the most popular. Super Snapshot and Fast Load. Fast Load speeds up drive operation and gives you easy disk utilities, so you don't have to type in long commands to clear a disk or delete a file. It gives you a very easy menu to do so. Then Snapshot has a bunch of features. So many, in fact, I think I'd have to go over them in a separate video. And the modems here are basically how you connect to the internet with the Commodore. Actually uses the phone line, so you'd have to use dial-up. Then here's a game, Gateway to Appshy. It's a pretty fun game to just throw on. Here's a pretty neat thing by Aprotech. It is a Aerospan 64. Basically what this allows you to do is plug in multiple cartridges and play them with just the flick of a switch. It also comes with a reset button, which is pretty handy. Right, and the last thing I'm going to show in this video are these manuals here. So here we have the manual to Super Snapshot, basically telling you what you could do with it. And in here you have your proof of purchase, still not filled out. Your 1571 user's guide, the printer manual, the 128 manual, Jiffy DOS, basically makes your disk drive faster. Alright, now we get into the neat stuff. We got the C64 user's manual, and here's the user's guide. We got this, Your Commodore 64, another user's guide. I found this pretty useful. And then this user's guide that's all marked up. In here is a bunch of miscellaneous items, like separators for those disc holders, label stickers for the discs. Here we have holy crap. Yeah, that's a lot of paper. And then here we got two Sony high-frequency cassettes still in the bag. Those could be useful if I ever get a Commodore data set. And that's about it. So that concludes all of my floppy disks and other Commodore software. I hope you enjoyed. The original video inspiration will be in the description. It's another guy's channel. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but he also did a review of his floppy disk collection, and he actually has more 3.5-inch discs with Windows and other programs on it. So if you're interested in newer software that's still considered retro, go and watch his video, linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See ya.